So, children and pets.
Right. What's your take on it?
I love to see the pet dog at the ceremony.
Yep.
Very first wedding ceremony I did, it was a non-legal wedding, and they brought their little pet dog.
Nice.
And I always find myself when I'm having a conversation with a couple on Teams or on Zoom or a WhatsApp chat, and I see a dog in the background, and I'll say to them, so, look, never mind used to, I say, who's this one?
In the background?
And so they introduce the dog, and you just see the expression on their face.
Yeah.
And the first time that happened, I said to them, I says, was the dog going to be making an appearance at the wedding and that? Well, we're hoping so. I says, well, it's a must. I says, and then sister says, I want the dog down there. I said, if you booked me, of course, So I wasn't even 5 minutes off the call from them, and I got a message through saying, the two of us just turned around and says yes, because he just loves dogs.
The dog? Brilliant, no, perfect.
So, yeah.
It's nice, although the dog needs to be a well-behaved dog. You can't have a dog barking and running about and jumping up and down in the bride's dress. She'll not want that. So I'm all for pets. Quite popular having the dog as a ring bearer. And I've had quite a few where the dog is not part of the ceremony to start off with, because not every venue allows animals.
No, of course.
But then like we'll do the whole best man. Oh no, I haven't got the rings. Oh no. I'll head out to the car. I must have left him in the car, or I've left him in the bedroom. And then they appear with the dog, walking down the aisle, and of course the dog's got the ring. So that works really, really well. And then they then stay for the last kind of like 10-15 minutes of the ceremony, and then they're back out and they get their photographs with them, and then they're away. But have you ever had horses?
No.
I have.
Oh, have you?
Right. Okay, so one of the grooms had his own horse, and he said to me, after the ceremony, obviously couldn't come into the ceremony, but after the ceremony, we want to go outside and we want a group photograph. Absolutely fine. So went out, and there was their own horse, and they brought another horse as a companion just to keep him calm. So there was two horses, and it was a beautiful day, and we got outside in the grounds, and it was fab. Two horses, now that's unusual.
Do you imagine?
It'd be amazing. Be amazing. I know. I love dogs, but I love cats. Cats and you can't control a cat, so it's just not going to happen.
No. Well, they say that cats have dogs have owners, but cats have staff.
Oh yeah, servants.
Servants.
Absolutely.
What's your thoughts on children and the?
No issues at all. Most couples nowadays, their kids are present at the wedding. I always have that wee chat before, when as part of our planning, that if their own children are going to be there, nominate somebody who will be in charge of your children during the ceremony. So if they're crying or they're running about, whatever, somebody else can do that, and you two can just focus on the getting married bit. I have no issues, love children. And just a wedding last week, there was a young girl, and she was at that stage, she was very clingy with mum, and she was wanting up all the time. That's fine. I just go with the flow. Like pets, you can't choreograph a child. No. You just go with the flow. Hopefully though, if you have a guest who's got a child, encourage them to sit at the end of a row, so that if their child is being very upset, whatever, they can slip out the room. Because you do see some videographers going, how am I going to edit this out?
Exactly.
What's your take on children?
No, I think it makes the whole day. There's two weddings that I've done to date that I've conducted. The bride and groom have little children there. One in particular I remember saying to them at the end, your children are an absolute credit to you. Little girl, she was 5 years of age. Would swear she was about 9 or 10, the way she was talking, very polite, very articulate young lady, and just she was for a girl of her age, she knew exactly what was going on. She knew what she had to do. She, for her age, she was taking control of her duties for the day. And it was really nice to see. And I'll probably not see that again for a very long time. And obviously there was the younger child, she was quite emotional, obviously didn't know what was going on, but they did appoint somebody else to take control over the youngest one.
Yep.
But the 5-year-old girl, she was just an absolute credit that day. And as I said to the point, she knew exactly what was going on. Mum and Dad were getting married, and
Special
the
day.
pride from a 5-year-old.
Oh,
It's just,
she knew, she sensed it, she got it. Yeah.
But when there was a few weeks back, I was doing a wedding when their youngest had saw Mum coming out the car in the bride's dress. The child was so overwhelmed, so emotional. And you think, well, they're obviously sensing something at such a young age, as young as 2 or 3. It's not just a normal Saturday, they're going to the park or they're going to something.
There's something different
There's
happening.
something quite different here. Mum's in a long white dress,
Yeah.
Dad's wearing a skirt,
But I think that kids that can be a lot. I mean, before the ceremony, you've got kids running about, and it can be a bit of a riot sometimes if there's lots of kids. But when it comes to actual ceremony and they're walking down that aisle, they get it, they sense it, and they can be quite overwhelmed and quite, I need to behave because there's all these people in this quite official setting.
Yeah.
They tend to behave.
Yeah.
To behave.
When one of the weddings I did, I was reading out something from the script, and I heard a shout from the side, and it was 2 children sitting. And when I turned around and I looked, I went, right, well, one of you said that, and it was like fisty bumps,
Oh,
so
nice.
it's coming across masterful, but jokey. Quite playful. And I think even they got it. It's like, we should behave ourselves, but that was actually acceptable.
Yeah, totally.
And even the bride and groom.
Kids will be kids. Kids will be kids.
Absolutely. And I think even the bride and groom who looked and thought, that was actually quite nice, So it's about how I think even for our celebrants, it's how we respond to that.
It's got to be a natural setting.
Yeah.
Very much so. So no, bring on the pets and the kids.
Oh yes.
But it just adds fun to the day.
What would be your favourite?
Oh, I couldn't even begin to say. And I'm not going to. What about you?
Well, I'm just going to be upfront and honest, it's got to be the dogs.
I love it. You're a braver man than me.